5.5 million, I think, small businesses who say the combination of the national insurance increases, the double the rate of inflation broadly increases in national living, the uncertainty over the effect, given the OBR said to us yesterday, they can't score the effect of the Employment Rights Act because there's consultations outstanding. That gives a completely different context for all of those small businesses around whether they will employ somebody. And if you look at the youth unemployment at over 16%, I think it's higher than the average in the EU, it feels like what you're talking about has theoretically a macroeconomic effect over time. But in the short term, the OBR and most surveys are saying, confidence in employing people is just not there. Do you think your measures are the right ones to actually move the dial in the immediate term?
Well, if you look at the OBR forecast and the things that they have taken into account, if you are a worker on a 0-hour contract and you don't know next week how many hours you're going to get, it is very difficult to be able to plan anything for the future. And very difficult to spend because you have to build up precautionary savings because you're not sure if you're going to be working the next week.
What I'm asking is, if the propensity to employ somebody is less, that is a theoretical construct because the person won't be in a job in the first place. Are you saying that you are committed to a higher cost labour and higher capital investment growth strategy? Is that a fair summary of where your measures are taking us?
I think you have to take into account the impact that it will have on employees as consumers. And if you've got more money in your pocket, that's more money to spend on your local high street and in your local business. Now, this argument played out when the last Labour government introduced the national minimum wage in the first place. And there was representations from business and other political parties that said the national minimum wage would cost jobs. It didn't. Employment...
It's nearly 30 years ago. We have seen youth unemployment at record levels now in these first 20 months of your government.
With respect, Mr. Glenn, we saw the number of people not in education, employment or training under the last Conservative government increase by more than 100,000. That was not because of greater protections at work and increases in their wages. In fact, living standards went backwards in the last Parliament. So I just don't accept the premise of your question.
Yeah, I'm just not clear what you think is going to get those people into employment in the first place, going to persuade employers, given the context that now exists for them, to make the decision to employ people.
Well, there are more people in employment than there were when Labour came into office. And partly that reflects a reduction in the inactivity rate. So I think there's only been 3 years in the last 50 years where the employment rate has been higher than it is today. And it is, of course, welcome that people are putting themselves forward for work. And that will reflect a number of things like better childcare, for example. Greater security at work encourages more people to take a job as well. So you have a situation where, yes, unemployment has increased a little bit, but so has inactivity has also reduced. And as a result, the number of people actually in work today is higher than when we came into office.